Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, A Painter's Vlog. Today's video is brought to you from Siem Reap, Cambodia. So this video has been a long time coming. As maybe some of you know, I've done some traveling to Cambodia. This is actually my 5th time here, but the thing is, I have been in love with Cambodia for a while now. I was introduced to Cambodia in college by one of my professors. I took a Southeast Asian art history class. So one day my professor, I think it was Joyce Kubisky, came into class and she put up some slides on the big screen and it was showing Angkor Wat. And I was like, what the hell is this? This has to be one of the most beautiful, magnificent sights I've ever seen. Actually haven't seen. From that moment, I made a vow to one day go to Cambodia and to see the temples. So fast forward to 2015, when a friend of mine invited me to come spend some time with him in Thailand. So it gave me an opportunity to kind of hop over to Cambodia, just take a 3-day trip here. During that trip, we saw the temples, you know, we did all the usual things, pub street, and we were out to dinner one night and I met the founder of the NGO Colors of Cambodia. Totally randomly, he was up on stage playing guitar, and then he came over and spoke with us after and told us about his NGO. So we ended up walking through town and looking up, and miraculously there it was, because at that time Colors of Cambodia was right in the heart of town. It was really, really close to Pub Street, pretty much kitty corner. And so I popped in. And long story short, I just fell in love with the organization. So then when I returned to the States, I wrote Bill and I was like, can I come to Cambodia and volunteer? So anyway, long story short, I ended up coming back in 2017. So the first trip was 2015. The second trip was 2017. I stayed here for, 2.5 months, I believe. And then Blair came and then he and I did some traveling around, but I was volunteering 25 hours a week and just working with the kids and doing all sorts of stuff. But it was really during that stay that I fell deeply in love with the people here, the culture, just the vast beauty that exists here in Cambodia. So many little facets and nuances of the culture. At that time also, I had developed a really rich community. A lot of my close friends that I still hold dear, I developed during that time. At that time also, Gallery 111 was in existence. It's no longer in operation, but I became friends with the then owners. They decided to give me a solo exhibition. So I went back to New York City, developed a solo body of work. I came back and then exhibited my work in Siem Reap, and then I exhibited it in Phnom Penh at another friend's gallery space. At that time, Blair and I had stayed for 2 months. Then we went back to the States and I brought up the idea of moving to Cambodia. And surprisingly, Blair was really open to the idea. So in early 2020, January, I think we got here January 3rd, we came back to Siem Reap, and we actually still did keep our apartment in New York. We just subletted it because we wanted to make sure that we really wanted to live here and that we were comfortable with the idea of being expats and that we could maybe find some semblance of work and just make it work. If you go back to some of my previous videos, you can see exactly what happened with that whole time, because I ended up going to get my yoga certification in India in March of 2020, and I couldn't get back into Cambodia because the pandemic was basically in full swing, as we all know, and I was actually evacuated from India and my heart was shattered, literally. Like, I can't really describe how brokenhearted I was. It really felt like a breakup because we had worked over a year to move to Cambodia. So basically I was evacuated from India and Blair was still here for nearly 2 months by himself, and he was trying to feel it out, you know, because obviously none of us knew what was going to happen at the beginning of the pandemic, and he thought that, hey, maybe I'll just stick it out here in Cambodia and then you can rejoin me, because we had found the most awesome apartment and we spent like $1,000 just getting it set up. We bought all the dishes and everything like that. I was just at my sister's, but anyway, you can go back to some of those previous videos. it was just like a really hard time. So we spent the last 2 years just trying to make lemonade out of lemons. We bought the van, as you guys know, traveled cross country, built the van out, which was a lifelong dream. And the last year, we've actually just spent the year in my college town. It's also where my sister and my nephew and my niece live. So it was really nice to spend time with family and be close to my family for a year. And we just rented an apartment with a backyard. Butterball loved it. It was nice. It was quiet. I never thought that I would be living in Michigan again, so I definitely had some unsettled feelings about that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with Michigan. It's just not really my heart space and where I envisioned myself or where I wanted to be. So this past winter was honestly one of the hardest winters in my life.
Welcome to Michigan. It's fucking February. And I haven't recorded a video in a month. You want to know why? Because I'm depressed. We're doing our best out here. We're doing our best.
I have had depression on and off over the past decade. Well, I guess on and off since my teens. But I think I count this past winter as one of my deepest, darkest depressions. It was just a really, really hard time because I started to have feelings that my relationship wasn't really on the right path. I don't really want to talk about my relationship too much because I still honor, respect, and love Blair so much. And he'll always be a part of my life. He's been the most amazing partner I ever had. But just out of respect for him, our partnership is just at a fork right now. Like, we decided to part ways in January, but we were still living together for the past 8 months because, like I said, there's like a lot of love. There's a lot of great areas there. It's not just like a black and white thing. I was just really, really highly depressed. I wasn't really honoring my intuition. I wasn't where I wanted to be in life. I wasn't who I wanted to be in life. And my heart still felt like it was in Siem Reap. So I made the decision in January to address some of the issues that I was having and have a really long discussion with Blair. And I told him that I would be moving back to Cambodia. So here I am, I'm in Cambodia. I would say I was really, really terrified before coming here. I will say, just as a word of advice, if you're planning on moving to another country, once you take that leap and you actually go, it's not as scary because you're there, you can just try it on. But so I will say that I was like really scared. I had so much anxiety before coming here. It's like, obviously I have been here before. This is my 5th time, but I just came out of a 5.5 year relationship, kind of a codependent relationship, you know, not in like a really negative way, but I was really reliant on Blair. He made life really easy for me. And so coming here, going through a breakup and experiencing the city alone once again, you know, is just a really different experience than coming here with someone. Hey guys, I wanted to pop in here because I'm just about to edit this video and I realized that I missed a huge portion of what I wanted to talk about with regard to moving here. I noticed that in the videos that I just took, just kind of talking about how I ended up in Siem Reap, Cambodia, I didn't really lead in with any of the way that I got here. So I just wanted to insert some of the clips that were how I got here, and just kind of getting a little emotional because I don't want you guys to think that this was an easy decision for me to make, you know, like it sounded like I would just watch some of that video back and I was just like, oh yeah, I just decided to go to Cambodia alone. Well, there were a lot of moving parts involved and it was basically giving up everything, you know? It was by choice, you know, it wasn't like, but I left my partnership literally, and I left my cat and I left my family back in the States to do this. Like, that's how badly I wanted to do this. That's how much this place means to me. So I just really wanted to kind of jump in here and let you guys know that, you know, it wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't just like, sweet, I'm going to Cambodia by myself. That's awesome. There's gonna be a lot you know, more emotions to deal with in this decision. I'm well aware of that. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some of the work that it took to get here, some of the emotional work, some of the packing, how I did it. I basically sold a shitload of artwork. So to any of you who bought a painting, you are my comfort, you're my protector, and you're the reason that I'm able to live here comfortably for the next at least 8 months, you know. That's if I didn't get a job here. So thank you so much. I'm looking through some of these clips of all the stuff that it took to get here, and it's pretty emotional. So just wanted to jump in here and let you guys know that it's not all sunshine and roses. You know, yes, I'm super happy to be here, but a lot went into this. So let's go ahead and jump into some of those clips, and I'm happy to share this journey with you.
It was a long and cold winter. She was depressed as fuck.
Hello and happy almost end of January. I can't believe this. I don't even know if I'll use this footage because honestly, I just haven't wanted to film all month. And I guess I can always edit this out later, but Blair and I have decided to split. And well, it was more so me. It's like so hard to talk about. There's a higher purpose out there, and yes, love is the root of everything. Love will always be the root of everything. But not just love with a partner. I want to be happy, you know? And for me, my happy place is in Cambodia, and I have to go to Cambodia. I don't know what it is. It's persistent. It's been a rough couple months because when you deny your intuition, I'll tell you one thing. The fastest path to illness, specifically internal illness or heart sickness or deep depression, is to deny your intuition. To tell your intuition that it's not true and you're just gonna fuck off. And what does that look like to you? I don't know. Are you drinking it away? Are you smoking too much pot? Are you moving constantly, trying to run away, and it's manifesting physically? Are you constantly on the move? Have you stopped meditating for like 8 months, like me? God. Meditation can be excruciating because you're there to reckon with yourself. Yeah, so I decided to leave my partner of a little over 5 years. Consistent in our relationship, faithful, loving relationship, a relationship that many people would desire and want. So why would one leave such a beautiful, comfortable situation like that? You know? I've wrestled with this for a long time. Your intuition says, here, put this blindfold on and jump into the ocean. I'm very firm in my resolve. I can't change my mind and go back to bargaining with my intuition. I can't go back to holding it in. I mean, look at me. I've gained like 8 pounds. It was causing inflammation in my body. Illness. Suppression of intuition results in illness. Even though lovers part ways, love remains. Love is always the literal constant. It's just astonishing with which the capacity, the open heart, the empathy that Blair is holding. He's literally holding space for me through his pain. Like, don't conflate, like if you're struggling with this decision as well, don't conflate your self-worth and who you are with what your intuition is guiding you toward. You know, even if you don't fully understand what your intuition is guiding you toward, don't beat yourself up if you need to make a choice that's difficult in your life. Through all the muck, take this advice, please. Through all the muck that you're walking through, you can remember the allusion to the lotus. you know, and also in honor of Thich Nhat Hanh, who just recently passed. God rest his beautiful soul. In a Buddhist sense, you know, the reason why the lotus is used as such an extensive symbol is because it rises from an ugly pond. Not ugly, but a very murky, darkened swamp. And that's you. That's you before your unfolding petals. Before you realize your deep wisdom, you know, that like this is your life. I'm going through such a hard time. Something I've decided to do is reach out for professional help because I don't know what to do. My biggest goal for this year is to answer this internal struggle. And I'm deeper in the well of sadness than I've ever been. And I feel like I'm sinking and I don't know how to get out. So I'm just like actively trying to do the best things I can do for myself. I'm like not looking in the mirror because I don't recognize myself. Anyway, this is why I need to go to therapy because I'm crazy. So I'm about to go into my first therapy session and I'm actually really nervous. Oh, it's nice to meet you too, John. Actually like kind of nervous right now, which is kind of unusual for me, I guess. I've never really initiated one-on-one therapy before. I have been to like a couples therapist one time when I was in Australia, but it was mostly because I was dating a lunatic. I'm just feeling a lot better. Had a good therapy session yesterday and yeah, so coming out the other side. Day 10 of sobriety. The biggest perk is just my levels of energy and I just feel so much better. You can probably see in my disposition. I don't know, I just feel like a fog is lifting and I feel much happier, much happier. It's actually pretty profound. I'm only gonna be in Kalamazoo for 3 more months because I bought my ticket to Cambodia, so I'm heading there August 1st. So it's just becoming real at this point. I don't know, I fluctuate between 2 main emotions right now. The first being sadness surrounding my breakup and also a lot of fear because I think part of what I'm experiencing now in life is a deep sense of comfort, which on one level is fine, but it's been far too long where I've just been extremely comfortable, meaning that I don't feel the drive in this environment to push myself, and I don't want to ever forget that feeling. I'm very happy that I've taken the decision to quit drinking. I just feel a lot better. I just feel more level-headed, and I'm going to continue this path of sobriety. So I'm just sitting there peeling carrots at the sink and I'm just overwhelmed with this knowledge that Blair and I are splitting. I feel like I'm like in between 2 worlds right now. I'm between this vestige of my past, of the past like 5.5 years, and present as well. So I am remaining present and I'm like feeling generally in the moment most of the time. I shelve the emotions a lot because they're so painful that I don't really want to deal with them fully, and I know that I'll have to deal with them fully when we separate. We're gonna get an Airbnb in Chicago. The next day my flight is around 6 or something, and so he's just gonna go with me to the airport. He said he's gonna try to treat it just like any other day. It feels like growth, but it is so fucking painful because I'm leaving my best friend and my partner, and these are the bits of life, you know, that you have to go through in order to get to something on the other side, whatever that something is, you know. And I guarantee you will be stronger for it if you just take the leap, you know. If you just realize that maybe your head, your heart, and your intuition are not in alignment, You have to do something about it. You can't just avoid the pain because you know it's gonna hurt. It's just like the closer it gets, the more real. Blair's mom wrote me and said she's gonna come out early August. And it just set me off into crying because it'll be my last time hanging out with them. And they feel like family to me. Okay, it is now Monday, July 25th, and today is the day that I'm going through my closet and basically packing up all of my winter clothes, going through anything that I won't be able to wear in Cambodia, and I want to pack it away. And then over the next 2 weeks, I want to make sure that what I am bringing with me is the right stuff to bring with me. Here to here, these are Blair's things. He has all of his lighter shirts in here and then some sweaters and stuff like that. And then from here to here, I know I do love clothing, is my clothing. So, but a lot of this bulk is actually winter bulk because obviously winter clothing takes up much more space. Yeah, I'll just keep refining from there. I'm still feeling a mixture of slight overwhelm, sadness, excitement, deep transformation. I don't know, I'm just feeling a lot of emotions. I'm doing this alone, but I'm doing this is a designed purpose. I do feel like there is a manifestation plan that's happening here, and I do feel guided by the universe. Baseline of this channel is basically like, how can we be as liberated, authentic, and free as possible? Like, that is our purpose here on earth. We're not here to continuously struggle. Those struggles are presented by nature so that we can just keep moving forward, so that we can ascend spiritually. Not to say it's easy, geez. It's the most difficult thing that we're ever gonna have to do as a human being. Oh, this is the cute dress that I got in Cambodia at Sakura Thrift Shop. Here are some of the bins that I'm gonna be storing my belongings in. Some of these bins will go inside my parents' house, but honestly, most of these bigger bins are gonna go in the barn out back. So my parents' house has 3 large barns that my dad built. There, in fact, might even be 4, but there's 3 really large barns, and one of the corners houses my belongings. So I'm gonna leave my hair dyeing shirt here. It's from Laundry, and that Laundry is a really cool bar in Siem Reap, so if you're ever there, you should definitely go visit. You don't want mama to go? This is one of the saddest parts of leaving. I have to say goodbye to my baby girl. My feisty baby girl. I love you. Rest in peace, Chante. So today I'm going through the arduous task of separating our highly personal belongings. I just deconstructed the altar and separated Blair's and I belongings, and I put mine in here. So we talked about it yesterday and we decided that Buddha would go with me. So here's Buddha wrapped in all of his or her beautiful bracelets. This is Blair's Buddha from many years ago, and he took the lion from our altar, which I'm gonna miss very much. It's so interesting how in a relationship your belongings can also become very intertwined. You can see my energy's a little bit low-key. Not that I'm in a bad mood, just a very contemplative mood. Separating our belongings, kind of making this external decision of like, what is he gonna keep and what am I gonna keep, and just witnessing how much our lives have become intertwined even through the objects that we have around us. All right, today I am working somewhat on the art supplies and organizing exactly what I'm bringing. And this is pretty much all the paint that I'm gonna be bringing. So as you can see, I mean, it looks small, but it's definitely heavy. But as far as I know, you can't find terpenoid natural in Cambodia. They do have very, very noxious terp, and that's more so for like heavy duty jobs, heavy duty painting jobs. So I'm actually bringing a couple supplies for Colors of Cambodia. I'm bringing one of these brush cleaners. So I'm bringing a lot of old brushes, which are still in relatively good condition. I'm just afraid of leakage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna saran wrap them in the fear that they might leak, and yeah, they should be okay though once I get them saran wrapped in.
The traveling kind, it's a known fact. Yeah, I know that. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world, all the spaces inside your heart.
Here it is, hate crimes, stretched for the first time. I've come too far to be distracted, so when I get to Siem Reap, I fully intend to dive into deep work. Mark my words. That's what this time is for. True liberation comes in liberation of the self, your time, which is your most exquisite asset, and your true autonomy. In the past, like week, maybe 3 or 4 days actually, I've sold about $14,000 of artwork, and it's nearly unbelievable. The support has been immense. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, I feel safe and protected. So this is what was and still is kind of the working studio thing. I had forgotten I was recording. Hi everyone, this is Kim.
Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love this.
I have to look at it with you.
I love the look on his face. I just love the pose. It's perfect.
I'm so glad.
I've always been really wanting to have something of yours because I love the way you paint.
Oh my god.
So this is very cool.
Yeah, I would not be able to go to Cambodia if it weren't for the support of
yes.
people like you, so I really appreciate it. This beautiful woman, Kim, has said that she forwent buying a pool cleaner in order to buy art. That is the embodiment of a true collector. Okay, I'm only doing this because I never get to do this. So just give me this one time. Just give me this one time. To any of you doubting yourself as an artist, thinking that you won't make money from your work, believe in the miracle of abundance, because this is the amount I've received for one 12 by 16 painting. It's a really great painting. So price your work equivalent to your worth. Welcome to Beaver Island.
I look into your eyes, I see we're out of time. I guess no one's to blame, nobody crossed the line. I guess we couldn't see, somehow we couldn't feel. Maybe we rose so fast, maybe we got too high. But
today's the day I have to say goodbye to Butterball. Now that I'm here in Cambodia alone, I have some priorities. My number one priority is to focus on me, and I want to definitely start a new series of paintings. So that's a very, very high priority for me. I want to read books. I want to slow down. I want to take time in nature. I actually bought a bike today, a really nice bike actually, a mountain bike. So I'm definitely gonna bike a lot. I wanna go out to the temples and spend a lot of time there. I would like to start my meditation practice again, because over the past 6, 7, 8 months, I really let my meditation practice go to the wayside. I'd like to foster more yoga community here, and I just want to chill with my community because I felt a little bit isolated in Kalamazoo. I didn't really have a lot of friends there, and I also knew that I'd be leaving, so I also wasn't really fostering and building a community. And that's something that I've really been missing. So it feels good to be back here and to have friends that I can hang out with and go biking with, have coffees with. I also quit drinking, so I definitely want to, you know, cherish and hold my sobriety close. That's really important to me, to be very mentally aware. I mean, honestly, it's really important to me, because I'm going into this new stage in my life, and I just feel like so many changes have been happening within me, and I've never been more ready. And I think that a lot of people may have experienced this in the pandemic. There were a lot of breakups that I knew of. There were a lot of just moments where people realized the focus shift, you know, like the things that they really wanted to focus on changed. There's a lot that I want to accomplish in this lifetime, so my priority now is me, 100%. Moving forward, this channel is going to focus very heavily on all things Cambodia. I mean, not all things, I'm still going to be focusing on my art and everything like that. But I really want to highlight the beauty, the intrigue, the amazingness, the uniqueness, the awesomeness that is Cambodia. So I'm going to be starting here in Siem Reap, which is my home base. The focus right now is just going to be on artistic creation and bringing you guys awesome content, because I am in a period in my life where I'm feeling re-inspired. So with that being said, I moved to Cambodia alone, and it's not so scary now that I'm here. So thank you guys so much for joining me in this channel, and if you have any questions or you'd like to meet up and get a coffee or something like that, please leave a comment below, and maybe you can share some of your community with me. I'm looking for more niche things to do here in Cambodia, so if you know of something really interesting, leave a comment below, and I don't know, let's hang out. All right guys, we'll see you soon.